Algeria, summer 1972. The face of a country celebrating its 10th birthday. For 7 of these 10 years, this man, Houari Boumédienne, has held the reins of power. His domain defies precise labeling, an Arab nation, yet far removed from the Central Arab bloc. In parts, highly modernized, yet devotedly anti-colonialist. Geographically, part of the African continent, yet only an hour's flight from the former master, France. It's this mixture of contrast and paradox that Boumédienne must hold together as he strives to modernize Algeria and consolidate her world position. This week, Echo looks at Algeria 10 years after independence. In 1962, when de Gaulle made peace with the Algerian insurgents, the French took with them civil servants, doctors, lawyers and engineers. They left the country without telephonists, station masters or plumbers. The new tower blocks of Algiers suggest, superficially, a remarkable recovery from this situation. True, Algeria under Boumédienne has advanced far since the early anarchic days under Ben Bella. The giddy idealism of 1962 has given way to Boumédienne's own style of pragmatism. And nowhere is this pragmatism better illustrated than in the changing course of Algeria's petrochemical industry. True, Boumédienne took the foreign oil companies under state control last year, but this gesture to socialism is nicely balanced by other steps in the same field. Over the next 25 years, Algeria has contracted to supply natural gas to the eastern United States, bringing in a foreign revenue of between $50 and $75,000 million. And while strongly anti-capitalist, has never shown any reluctance to export this same gas to West Germany, France, Britain and Italy. And on the political front, while preaching an amalgam of Islam and socialism, Boumédienne has taken politics out of national life. The sole political party, the FLN, has not held a full Congress in 8 years. The flamboyant Marxism of the country's first president, Ben Bella, is now only a distant memory to most. Rolls of parchment, the key to Boumédienne's way of doing things on the land. The drone of bagpipes provides an unusual overture to land reform.
بلهوان أحمد بن عمار جناتي أحمد بن عمار.
It's a real meeting point between Marx and Mohammed.
بن عمار.
On occasions like this, the distribution of land deeds and farm equipment to formerly landless peasants, Boumédienne makes one of his rare public appearances. Behind the face of the statesman, a shy, rather austere, but not unfriendly man. Again, the same blend of idealism and reality. The peasants now own the land they used to work for others. But instead of working for a remote government agency, they will be working in a cooperative, self-ruling along Yugoslav lines. But even important reforms and innovations like this don't give the real key to Algeria's planned future. The agricultural growth rate is set at 3%. While growth in the industrial sector is a projected 15.5%. This is what Boumédienne really wants, to turn Algeria into a modern industrial nation run along socialist lines, with the heavy industries taking precedence over all other sectors of the economy. The mixed pedigree of this bus and lorry plant, owned jointly by a French firm and the Algerian government, might cause a few shudders among the more orthodox members of the FLN. But Boumédienne knows that dogma and development often make poor bedfellows. His aim is to develop industry, so he takes help from whichever quarter it's offered, without selling out to foreign domination. At present, nearly 9/10 of the parts in this plant come from abroad, but the quota is dropping steadily. If Algeria can further cement her trade links with Europe and North America, the road to self-sufficiency may get easier still. There are still some stumbling blocks to greater international cooperation. And the best publicized of them land here at Algiers airport. Hijacked planes, commandeered by American black militants and flown to what they imagined would be a rapturous welcome. But the hijackers' flight eastwards was a flight back along the political timescale. Once the enfant terrible of Africa, Algeria now acts with a newfound responsibility, returning ransom money and now, significantly, taking a hard look at the emigre groups who found shelter and support there. Until this year, such groups could count on financial help from the FLN, and in some cases were even accorded semi-diplomatic status. But the signs now are that time is running out, at least for some of the more extreme groups. Government unease at the presence of the minuscule American Black Panther Party has been heightened by two events in particular. A letter from Eldridge Cleaver to President Boumédienne charging him with lack of revolutionary zeal, and Cleaver's rather dubious attachments with a series of local Algerian girls.
Tami? C'est Tami? Comment vas-tu?
All this, combined with the need to maintain good relations with the countries vital to her development, means Algeria may yet have to revise completely her role as a sanctuary for lost revolutionaries. And it's known that the other groups operating there are increasingly unhappy at the unwelcome publicity that the Panthers have focused on them all. Algerians generally are beginning to realize that they face more urgent tasks than playing keeper of the world's revolutionary conscience. Despite a crash program, illiteracy still runs at nearly 80%, unemployment at around 15%. Algeria is luckier than many of its North African neighbors, with its vast oil, gas and mineral deposits, and it having a relatively stable, though authoritarian government to guide it towards its goals. In 10 years of self-government, some mistakes have been made, But it must be said that the prospects for the next 10 years look undeniably brighter than could ever have been imagined back in 1962.